Happening now, a threat was made to a local elementary school, the actions that officials are taking. And the community lashed back against the planned relocation of a Dunkirk hospital. Plus, the annual Soapbox Derby was held over the weekend, and how they hope to expand the Derby countywide.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Bronson Rasmussen. The latest local news is coming up, but as you can tell, I got a sunburn and did not listen to our weatherman, Dakota. Man, I really should start doing that now. I guess we'll go to you.
Well, you know, we say it all the time. The news people never listen to the weather people. It happens all the time. This is a live look over the Mayville Skycam, and hey, B, this is my camera. Get away from it. And you can see here we've got some peaks of sunshine peeking out from the clouds. The good news is across the southern tier, we are mainly dry for much of this afternoon, but we could see a couple isolated showers later on this afternoon. But again, it's a relatively small chance. We put the chance of rain today at about 20%. And the allergy's still a problem. Tree pollen is still an issue, but notice that the mold spores have started to tick up now. So yeah, if you're starting to get allergic to the mold, that's going to be a culprit right there for you as well. 70 was the high yesterday, started the day at 55, 92 and 32 are the records. So through the afternoon, quite warm with moderate humidity. Not too bad, but you will feel it a little bit. Partly sunny with an isolated shower, 76 to 84 with a southwest wind. Now we do get into some rain tomorrow, and then for much of this week, we will talk about it with that Ultimate Satellite Solutions 7-day forecast later on in the show, Bronson.
All right, we'll see you then, Dakota. Authorities were made aware about a potential threat to Ring Elementary School Sunday evening. Jamestown Public Schools were made aware Sunday evening that a fourth grade student had sent text messages and a video that contained a potential threat to Ring Elementary School. Since the initial threat, police have determined that there is no credible hazard to the elementary school or any individual. However, as precautionary measures, there will be an increased police and security presence at the building. The second out of 3 citywide cleanup events has officially been announced for Saturday, June 11th. The cleanup event employs the help of community members to take up action and help clean up specific areas. For this event, city leaders would like to focus on the east side of Jamestown. Changing it up this year, the city has condensed the amount of official cleanup events down to 3 from 7 last year. The city is also allowing participants to pick up and choose where they want to clean up in hopes of more community support. The Department of Development asks for all who wants to show their community pride to lend a hand to head over to Jamestown Pride Festival. The cleanup event will be held on Saturday, June 11th from 8 a.m. until noon, meeting in the lot behind Windsor Street Dollar General. Jamestown High School's annual Battle of the Classes is planned for Monday night at Strider Field. The Battle of the Classes is an annual event held by the high school to promote camaraderie between classmates while having a healthy amount of competition. Cost for the event is $1 pre-sale and $2 at the gate. All proceeds from the battle will benefit the UNCAN Women's Shelter. The event will start promptly at 5 p.m. with a rain date of June 8th. A healthcare facility in northern Stockwell County is facing criticism following plans to move the site away from its current Dunkirk location. Administrators from Brooks Memorial Hospital held a rally at the Clarion Hotel Saturday to garner support for the future of the service. In attendance were members from the hospital's board of directors, as well as former New York State Senator Kathy Young. The gathering comes as the Brooks TLC company eyes a site on East Main Street in Fredonia as a possible location for a new, better optimized facility. Meanwhile, local leaders and residents of Dunkirk organized a so-called counter rally just outside the hospital on Lakeshore Drive. Participants, including Dunkirk Mayor Wilfred Rosas, expressed their concerns over the move out of the city and the impacts it could have on the residents.
It will have a devastating impact, more so on those less fortunate. We have a high level of poverty in our community here in the city of Dunkirk, and those are the people that would be most impacted by this move. I don't understand, and there's a lot of people that are with me who don't understand why they can't rebuild right here at the same site. You're seeing the Buffalo Bills do exactly that. They're rebuilding a brand new stadium right on their same lot. And this board of directors says they can't do that.
As for the reason behind the move, Brooks TLC Chairman Christopher Lansky told us the new site being near several major thoroughfares would provide greater access to health care for all of northern Chautauqua County. Well, as WNY News Now continues, we take a look at the multiple atrocities that occurred over the weekend, and later, what residents around the area did to celebrate Pride. Stay with us as WNY News Now will be right back.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer with a day of fun activities for children in the Jamestown area, hosted by Collaborative Children's Solutions and the City of Jamestown. The first part of the day happens at Northwest Arena, where both kids and parents alike can learn about activities available to youth. Later in the evening, finish out the night at the Tarp Skunk baseball game, along with a fireworks show at Russell Dietrich Jr. Park. Stop on down on Friday, June 24th, as we celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer.
What is going on, my New York friends? My understanding is that you're in school for a little bit longer than most people, but I got some good news for you. Where are you going to be on September 10th? In Jamestown, New York, with me at 7 o'clock at the Reglena Theater, and you can get your tickets at reglena.com, REGLENNA.com. Make sure that you grab those now. It's going to be so much fun. Jamestown, New York, September 10th. Come and have fun with me.
Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvanna Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
What could you lose in a home fire? Your possessions? Your home? Your memories? Don't let your world go up in smoke. Make sure you have working smoke alarms and practice an escape plan for you and your loved ones, because fire is everyone's fight.
This message was brought to you by the Jamestown Fire Department and the Chautauqua Safety Village.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
It was a deadly weekend throughout the country due to many more mass shootings, claiming at least 12 more lives and more than double that number injured, with many mass shooting incidents across the country. In Philadelphia, 3 were killed and 12 were injured. In Tennessee, 2 died and 12 others were injured from gunfire. A third person died after being struck by a car while fleeing the gunman. In Clarendon County, South Carolina, 1 died and 7 were injured at a graduation party. In Michigan, a shooting killed 3 people. In Mesa, Arizona, 2 people were killed and 2 others were injured at a nightclub shooting. In light of the multiple shootings over the past month, many are now looking to Capitol Hill to pass gun control legislation. The city of Corning, New York, held their Pride celebration over the weekend. The events had rainbows, flags, decorating the square, and local businesses on Market Street, people enjoying drag story time, dancing together, games, and more. The co-founder of Corning Pride, Hannah Jones, said the community strongly supports this event. WNY's Alexandra Dran has more.
Co-founder of Corning Pride, Hannah Jones, helped organize the Corning Pride Car Parade in Market Street Fun this year. She says it was important to make everyone in the community feel welcomed at Pride.
We want everybody to feel included. We want everybody to feel safe. And literally just using somebody's pronouns can save a life. It's been proven. So it's important to me for that, but also it's part of my identity. And it should be important to everybody because it's a human right.
Jones says student groups and members of the community helped her make this day possible. Advisor for the Horseheads Gay Straight Alliance, Aurora Dufort, worked with students to bring kid-friendly activities to this event.
We also brought a banner for people to put their handprints on in different colors, and we brought a matching activity to see if people can, how many pride flags people can identify.
There was something for everyone to enjoy. Many kids took part in a storytime session with a local drag queen who read them stories and sang songs. They also enjoyed games, dancing, and face painting. Dufort says she is proud of the positive messages her students are spreading to the community. She says Pride Month is an opportunity to support and spread love for one another.
Pride is really important to me as an ally, as an opportunity to uplift and celebrate LGBTQ voices, and also as an opportunity to show support for LGBTQ plus rights.
There was a good turnout in Harbor Creek over the weekend for the Get Lost 5K run and walk. The event at the Harbor Creek Community Park is all about getting out, being active, and having fun. The event is also a way to support the Northwest PA Canine Search and Rescue Team and to meet their members and partners. The event included the 5K walker run, a canine obstacle course, and a kids dash. There was a registration fee, and with a little extra, you received a race t-shirt. Over 80 people signed up. Their support makes sure that the Canine Search and Rescue Team is ready if you ever need them.
And the proceeds from this is all to help benefit our team. We're a totally nonprofit organization, so it helps to send us as well as our canine partners to trainings. It helps us buy equipment so that when we do go out on searches, we have the appropriate equipment to use.
Male finishers overall, and in certain age groups, and there were canine awards for the top dog too. In response to the Buffalo mass shooting, Governor Kathy Hochul signed new gun legislation into law today. Our Julia Gress with the details.
When did we become a nation that reveres the right to have the ability to possess a gun over the right of a child to stay alive? When did that happen? When will we as a nation say enough of the bloodshed, no more, no more? Gun violence is a disease that is tearing our nation apart, and it is now the #1 killer of children in America.
Primarily, the legislation will range the age of buying and owning a semi-automatic rifle from 18 years old to 21 years old.
We're micro-stamping bullets so law enforcement can have an easier time catching the criminals, and we're closing loopholes so the firearms that are being so cleverly manufactured or altered cannot evade our laws anymore.
It will also strengthen the red flag law, which prevents individuals who show signs of being a threat to themselves or others from purchasing or possessing any kind of firearm. State police will now be required to file for an extreme risk protection order whenever they have probable cause to believe that an individual is a threat to themselves or others.
No longer will large-scale ammunition magazines be legal in the state of New York. No longer will we allow the sale of body vests and armor to those who don't need them for work.
The legislation will also require data sharing of gun violence between state and federal databases.
And in the state of New York, we're now requiring social media networks to monitor and report hateful conduct on their platforms.
The state will also establish a new domestic terrorism unit to focus on tracking and responding to extremist violent threats, led by the Office of Attorney General Letitia James. Finally, the law will amend the definition of firearms to include any other weapons. Julia Gress, WNY News Now.
Julia, thank you. The governor also promised the state will invest $227 million in community-based gun violence intervention programs, including the SNUG program. Coming up, a potential new medicine is coming out to help treat cancer patients. And later, how both Republicans and Democrats are working together to help with gun legislation. But first, we return with a look at our full weather forecast when WNY News Now returns.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
How prepared is your family if a hurricane shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a blizzard? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes.
Make a plan today.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense Weather.
Not hear me for some. There we go. This is a look, if we can take the main graphics. Thank you very much. This is a picture that came in yesterday of, this is called a sun halo. And this came to us yesterday. This is a beautiful, to Don for sending this in. So wanted to talk a minute about sun halo. What is it? Well, it basically has to do with light retraction, kind of how when you have an ice, you ultimately have the sun here, and the light crystal is actually refracting the light through it. So again, that's basically a sun halo. Key facts for you. It has to do with thin, high-level clouds, and it also depends on the certain angle that you're looking at. So between 22 degrees and 46 degrees above the horizon, that's generally when you see these things. And halos are also visible around the moon, believe it or not. Those are called moon halos, and that happens on occasion as well. So those are sun halos. Wanted to just talk about that because I thought it was very cool to talk about. 73 as a noon hour, a south wind of 13. It is a little bit breezy out there with that wind gust of 18 miles an hour. Tonight, Tarp Skunks are at home once again tonight playing against the Newark Pilots. Any of those isolated showers should come to an end before game time. 78 at the first pitch at 6:30, 72 by the seventh inning stretch. And by the time we wrap up the game by the ninth inning, 69. It will be a bit more humid than it has been, so just keep that in mind, but you will not need any jackets or likely any rain gear at all either. Let's take a look at the regional satellite and radar composite. We have a front that's been coming through the area now, and all of this rain that you see back to the west is going to be coming on in here, but mainly through the day tomorrow. Again, much of today should be dry, but we do have a couple isolated showers in the forecast. Tropical storm Alex finally formed, but it waited until it got out into the Atlantic for it to actually form. Our first named storm of the season, 65-mile-per-hour winds with 75-mile-per-hour gusts. It's out here north of, going to be like this, away from the United States and away from land. So just wanted to mention it because it did ultimately form, but it waited until it got out into the Atlantic, away from the sheared waters of the Gulf of Mexico. So future scan showing you the clouds thickening up. Here are some of those isolated showers through the afternoon. think it's going to be this, I don't think it's going to be this widespread in coverage, but we are going to see a couple isolated showers through the afternoon hours. The evening will be dry. Overnight should be mainly dry. Tomorrow, here comes that better chance of rain, and it does look like could be occasional widespread rain showers with maybe some pockets of moderate to heavy rainfall as well. We're not expecting any flooding issues through the day tomorrow, so that'll be the good news, but it will be kind of a wet day through the day. So 58 to 66 tonight. Any of those early showers ends becomes mostly cloudy and mild. So fans on kind of night. Now the next 7 days, powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions, we're down to 69 tomorrow. That's after that front moves through. A few scattered showers on Wednesday, a scattered shower Thursday, 70, 73 on Friday, Saturday, 68, 67 on Sunday. So it does look like for the Pride Festival, Bronson, we may be dodging a few raindrops, but we're hopeful most of those will hold off for at least the later afternoon.
Well, I think rain or shine, everyone will show up no matter what. Breast cancer patients could experience a newfound sense of relief. A new drug is currently being tested to treat breast cancer. The drug, known as Enhertu, combats a specific protein in the body known as HER2, which drives breast cancer growth. The drug is an antibody chemotherapy treatment that can be taken as an IV. The treatment would block the production of the protein by releasing cancer-killing chemicals into the body. The drug would help treat HER2-positive breast cancer cases, which occur when cells produce more than the normal amount of protein. Researchers predict the drug will help potentially reduce the production of that protein. In April, the treatment was approved by the FDA to treat HER2-positive breast cancer cases. Studies have found that the drug has improved patient survival compared to the standard chemotherapy treatments. However, studies and tests are still being performed to ensure the safety of this drug before it's promoted to a wider audience. For many people today, it is just an average Monday, but for others, it's a day of remembrance. This year, large crowds of French and international visitors are gathering on the benches of Normandy to commemorate D-Day. 78 years ago today, thousands of Allied troops landed on the grounds to liberate Europe from the German control during World War II. This year, many D-Day veterans are returning to the battlegrounds to commemorate the anniversary of the battle. Of the people returning, one is a 98-year-old man named Charles Shea. In 1994, Shea worked as a medic in the Army. He hopes that the future generations will never forget D-Day and remember that in any time, war is not good. Shea continues that he is saddened to see war returning to European grounds through Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Senator Pat Toomey is part of a bipartisan group of senators working on gun legislation. He says so far the talks are going in the right direction. On Twitter, Toomey says, in part, they're working on legislation that can help prevent other tragedies in America without interfering on law-abiding citizens' Second Amendment rights. He doesn't specify as to what kind of legislation they're discussing, but adds that he's optimistic and that they can create something together following the recent mass shootings in Buffalo, Texas, and Tulsa. People are encouraging Congress to do something to help prevent mass shootings. In the past, each party has accused the other of not working with each other on controversial issues, but it looks like both parties are making a lot of effort to find some common ground. And next, the annual Soapbox Derby was held over the weekend. What they're looking forward to coming up.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
Visit the Northwest Arena on Friday, June 24th, as we celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer. Learn about activities available to youth in the Jamestown area, plus end the night with fireworks at the Tarp Skunks game. Learn more online at ccsolutions716.com.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way. My kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
The annual Soapbox Derby was held over the weekend. While many participated, many are looking to expand their operations. Having participants race in a gravity-intense battle, the Soapbox Derby comprises of school-age children from across Chautauqua County and neighboring counties.
What we're trying to do now is advance onto the Masters League, if you will, and try to get some other cars.
Those in charge of the Derby are looking to expand their horizons, including more community support with a different type of race using the Masters League of Cars.
The students are really cheering each other on, and they're hoping for the best for everybody. They're not just thinking about themselves. They're cheering on their teammates. They're cheering on other schools.
The Soapbox Derby is looking to expand their operations to even more from the current school districts that they have to gather more local support. When I was little, I went to the Soapbox Derby and actually participated, and it was quite the experience, I've got to say.
I mean, I never went to the Soapbox Derby and I never participated. The only derby that I really participated in was back in middle school. You know, I don't know if they still call it this, but it's technology, but it's basically woodshop. And at Washington, where I went, we made CO2-powered race cars, and we would put them on a little track and race them down the hallway. Of course, I lost in a very miserable fashion, but...
I mean, I remember technology class when I was in high school at JHS. It was not exactly the same. I remember it in middle school as well at Jefferson, where you'd make things out of Legos.
Yeah, you see, we didn't do that.
You don't want to make robots?
We didn't do that. Well, you see, I went to middle school around during the Ice Age, so it's like, you know, we had wood and metal and stuff to work with. We didn't have Legos. We didn't have that.
You didn't have Legos?
No, we didn't make anything out of Legos or robotics. We didn't do that.
Have you ever done one of those things where you make the random, like, a random car-looking thing at home, and then you try to go down the road with it, and it didn't work well?
No.
What?
My childhood was spent looking at vacuum cleaners in Sears, okay? So just...
But you didn't want to race the vacuum cleaners?
Well, that's another story, but, you know.
Well, I suppose with the time that we have left, we should get a final check of our weather with you, Dakota, if you want to go away with that.
Sure. If people are still listening to me after that. So we're going to cool down tomorrow, 69, with widespread to occasional rain showers. We do warm up again through at least the middle and late part of next week. And the weekend is looking a bit wet, especially for Pride. We're going to have to keep our eyes on a few showers, but hopefully some of that rain will hold off, so we will have a good Pride Fest for this year.
All right, that's it for us today, everyone. Remember that news continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com and on our mobile app. Download it for free today in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. And we'll leave you now with a live look over our studio in downtown Jamestown. We'll hope to see you next time.